Hello everybody and welcome to Nights of Wine TV. I'm your host Brandon Amherst Mathews. And this, my friends, is the Thunder Down Under show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program in the Southern Hemisphere. Today again we have Roger Amherst Mathews with us. Doesn't like me using the middle name. Oh, we'll have to get used to that, it's our name. And thanks for coming in again. And I noticed you brought your Tas de Vin. We were talking about it. He's got a pure silver one. But yeah, we were talking about the Chevalier de Vaughn using that and talked about hanging them around their neck and that sort of thing. But they're also used in the wineries to check the wine from the barrels. Is that
absolutely?
That
yes, yeah? Absolutely. In all the vineyards in France, you have a vigneron who makes the wine. And they have to taste wine as they're making it all the time, and they use Tas de Vins, where in the cellars the only lighting very often is just candles. And with the Tas de Vin, as you can see, it's got these lovely reflective surfaces. Brandon's, which I gave him yesterday, has actually a number of little rises and bumps which all reflect the light in different ways. I have a more simple one that I bought
pure silver
many years ago. Thank you, Brandon. Pure silver. And it has this lovely dent in the middle which actually reflects the colours of the wine as you're drinking them. And they hang them around their necks on a chain, and they can do other things with their hands, and then when they want to taste, there it is. So they don't use glasses. Okay, now I've just come back from Europe, as we said yesterday.
Yes,
and this was a fantastic trip. Let me tell you, everybody that I've spoken to, they said, "What? And did you just drank wine all the time?" Well, that's what it was all about. Some 30-odd years ago, in my youth, when I was a backpacker and bumming it around Europe, I hitchhiked through an area of Germany which is known as the Rhine and the Moselle valleys. And at that stage I didn't drink wine, which was a great pity, because I missed out on a wonderful experience which I've only just had. And for, I don't know, 30, 40 years I've had this on my bucket list. You've all heard about the bucket list. Well, this is one of the things that I always wanted to do. And
did you get that from the movie?
I got the bucket list from the movie, yes. And so there we were, trundling through the valleys of the Moselle firstly, and then into the Rhine, and it was just so beautiful. You have never seen valley slopes packed with grapes like they have them there in Germany. It is just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And the wines they make are just to die for. They are so beautiful. The bouquets that come out of them are just wonderful.
Did you bring any wines back so we can taste?
I did indeed, yes.
Okay.
But of course, you know, airport restrictions and everything.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we can only bring a couple of bottles, so that's all we've got, and we'll do them in time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
So what was the highlight of your trip, if you like? You went to France. You went to Italy.
Yes, we went through France and Italy. France is the ultimate in winemaking. They have so many different areas, and they also make so many different styles of wine, whereas the Germans tend to make almost only one style of wine.
And what would you compare that to in Australia if someone was to try an Australian wine? Is there anything comparable?
Oh yes, we have in Australia wonderful wines here. They tend to be rather pricey when they come up to the standard of the French and the Germans. We were just amazed at the inexpensiveness of such good quality wines there. We didn't know the names or who made them or anything, because they're all in German and French, and they're unknown to us. But you could pick up a bottle of wine for, say, 6 or 7 euros, which would be about $10 or $11, and it would be comparable to something here in Australia of the same quality in the region of $40, $50 a bottle. It was
really?
just, and and even their cheapest wines, like the €2 bottles that you pick up in the supermarket, they are just so good, so very, very good.
Yeah.
In fact, in one place, I picked up a bottle of champagne, now real champagne, for €11, which, converting it to dollars, is about 16 Australian dollars. Now, you couldn't buy a bottle of French champagne here for that price anywhere.
Yeah. So, okay. So, if someone was contemplating going on a trip overseas, what would you suggest to them, in the sense that they wanted to explore or experience wine maybe a little bit differently? Like they've got more established wineries, I would think. What about the wineries? Is the buildings, like you've seen a lot? I mean, pretty much been all over Australia and seen most of the wineries here. So, if they could go to one place, where would you say they should go?
Well, if you wanted one country, then definitely France is the country, because it has the Bordeaux region, the Burgundy, the Beaujolais, the Champagne. Now there's one for you. And even down on the Mediterranean coast, they have beautiful wineries there everywhere. France is full of vines and wines. So that would be the ultimate. The Italians, I believe, drink more wine per head than any other nation on earth.
Wow.
Is
that because of their siestas?
Well, they take life very relaxedly over there, rather like us Queenslanders, only they fill their afternoons with wine. And of course, Germany has some of the finest wines in the world. You cannot beat the top German wines for their quality. I drank some that I gave 20 out of 20 to. They were just so good. I'd never tasted anything better in my life.
And is it true that when you taste a 20, you'll always remember where you were?
Oh yes, oh yes.
The surroundings and everything.
Yes.
It's that powerful.
When you get one of these marvellous bottles of wine that you've never tasted anything like it before, you'll definitely find you'll remember exactly where you were. Maybe you won't remember the exact day you did it on, but you'll definitely remember where you were and why you were there, and that wonderful, wonderful taste, yes.
So if you've got a bottle that you wouldn't mind bringing in tomorrow, we don't have to drink it straight away, because, I mean, you've only got a few to...
They definitely are not just to be drunk straight away.
Well, I mean, like, we'll enjoy it, won't we, Billy? Hey? Yeah. Well, you're not allowed any.
You're too young, Billy, you're too young. Yeah. So, that's a very brief encounter of the trip. Okay. I mean, I could go on for hours about each.
Yeah, well, we don't have hours, we're just about out of time.
Yeah.
But having said that, if tomorrow, could you bring in a bottle? There's something you maybe talk about?
Yes.
Okay. And what we'll do tomorrow is we'll talk more about something in particular and comparable to Australia. That's right. Us. That's out of time. So you'll be back in tomorrow then, Roger, for us?
Yes, I love talking about wine.
Folks, thanks for joining us again on our broadcast from the Gold Coast in Australia. We're bringing you some information and some knowledge on wines. And me, with a little bit of you, we're going to change the wine world, whether they like it or not.